Shalom. All praise to Yahweh Shemi Shah, double honor to the apostles of GMS. My name is Amnawa Allah, coming at you with another lesson. And this lesson the focus is going to be on Deuteronomy chapter 32, verse 17. I'm starting verse 15. Deuteronomy 32 and 15. But Jeshurun waxed fat. Jeshurun is talking about Israel, which Jeshurun comes from the Hebrew word Yashawan, meaning the first. Because Israel is firstborn. But Jeshurun, or Israel, waxed fat, meaning what? Jeshurun, Israel waxed fat and kicked, meaning what? We had a great abundance. That's what it's referring to. Like back in the days when Jacob said, "Yo, I'm living fat." That means they got things in abundance. That while waxing fat, that while growing thick, that while covered with fatness, because we was going into our land. The Most High had given us he allowed us to spoil the Egyptians, okay, taking their jewelry. So he was waxing fat. The Most High gave us an abundance of riches from the Egyptians. We was going into our land. The Most High had given us quail. The Most High had given us manna, okay. He had given us water from the rock. We drink water from a rock. So the Most High, we had waxed fat. Then he forsook the Most High, which made him. Yeah. Then Israel forsook the God that made us, the power that made us, and lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. Right, the children of Israel lightly esteemed him. Let me go to that word. Let's see what that says. Nabal. Okay? For lightly esteemed. It says to be senseless, to be foolish, to regard or treat as foolish, to treat with contempt, to sink or drop down, languish, wither and fall, fade, to sink or drop down, to fall, wither and fall, fade, to droop. So when it says we lightly esteemed them, in other words, we took the Most High for naught. Okay? We took the Most High to be senseless. We didn't regard the Most High or hold. See, the word there, his esteem too. We didn't esteem the Most High as he should have been esteemed. We didn't hold the Most High in as high of regard as he should have been. Our ancestors, rather. Okay? And lightly esteemed the rock of his salvation. Because it's the Most High that delivered us from Egypt. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. Right, worshiping false gods. That goes back when the children of Israel had made that golden calf after leaving the land of Egypt, when Moses was on Mount Sinai getting the 10 Commandments from the Most High. They provoked him to jealousy with strange gods. With abomination provoked they him to anger. They sacrificed unto devils. Right, they sacrificed unto devils. That word devil comes from the Greek word diabolos, which means deceiver. So they sacrificed unto deceivers, unto devils. That was those deceiving spirits, because they was worshiping gods that were no gods. Okay, so if you're worshiping a God that is no God, then you're being deceived, because you think you're worshiping a God that exists, but it's not actually there. So those spirits are deceiving you. So those actual rites or practices or customs that they were keeping, worshiping those false gods, that was those devils or those deceiving spirits that was causing them to do that. They were being deceived into thinking that those practices that they were doing, which was worshiping other gods, was actually the worship of those gods, but those gods were not real at all. So they were worshiping devils or deceivers, deceiving spirits that deceived them into conducting those practices unto gods that did not even exist. So really, they're worshiping Satan. They're worshiping the devil. If somebody out there worshiping Zeus ain't real. You're worshiping the devil. Devil means deceiver. That's those deceiving spirits that's causing you to conduct in that worship. And you think that worship is going up into Zeus, but Zeus ain't even real. They sacrificed unto devils, not to the Most High. To gods whom they knew not, right? To gods that we didn't even know. Because the only God we knew was what? The Most High. That's the only God that we knew. To gods whom they knew not. To new gods that came newly up. Whom your fathers feared not, to God, who your fathers feared not, right? To God that newly came up, who our fathers feared not. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, they didn't fear none of the gods of the Egyptians. Okay, our fathers feared not those gods. But when our people came out of the land of Egypt, or when our people went into Egypt and came out of the land of Egypt, they took their gods with them. They took the gods of the Egyptians with them. They took the knowledge of them gods with them. That's why they made that golden calf when Moses came down off Mount Sinai. And this is gonna be a short show because I'm doing this on Camtasia, and if it goes up beyond like 15 minutes, it might not upload sometimes, and I don't want to have to go through that. So some of the scriptures I want to get into that I won't be able to get into. Psalms 96:5. It says, "For all the gods of the nations are idols." Right, all of the gods of the nations are idols. Okay, go to that word idols real quick. Where's that? Alayal. Alayal. And it says, "Of naught, good for nothing, worthless, of physicians, a shepherd, a divination, a false god." So all of the gods of the nations are idols, meaning they have naught, meaning nothing. All of the gods of the nations are idols, they're good for nothing. All of the gods of the nations of idols, they're worthless. Okay? So for the gods of the nations are what? False gods, divination. So the gods of the nations are idols. Okay? For all the gods of the nations are idols or good for nothing. Okay? But the Lord made the heavens. Yahweh Bashim Shah made the heavens. Not those false gods that our people was worshiping in the wilderness. Not those false gods that our people was worshiping in the land of Israel. Not those false gods that our people was worshiping when they were in those different lands, those different captivities. And not the false gods that our people are worshiping today. Our people going around worshiping Sejra Borgia, who they put up as the image of the one in the world called Jesus Christ, whose real name is Yahweh Shah in the Hebrew. That's worshiping a false god. That's an idol. Okay? Psalms 115:7. I'll start in verse 3. I'll start in verse 1. Psalm 115:1. Not unto us, O Lord, not unto us, but unto thy name give glory, for thy mercy and for thy truth's sake. Wherefore should the heathen say, where is now their God? But our God, our power, is in the heavens. He hath done whatsoever he hath pleased. Their idols from the other nations, the heathen, right? Because saying, wherefore should the heathen say, where is now their God? So now it's telling you about their gods or their idols, their false gods, their gods that are good for nothing. Their idols are silver and gold, the work of men's hands, right? Their idols are nothing more than the work of men's hands. They have ears, but they hear not. Noses have they, but they smell not. They have hands, but they handle not. Feet have they, but they walk not. Neither speak they through their throat. They that make them are like unto them. So is everyone that trusteth in them. So just as you make those idols, which are what? Good for nothing, they that make them are like unto them. And so is everyone that trusted in them, meaning you're good for nothing as well. As a matter of fact, the scripture is in the book of Isaiah. What's the scripture? I'm typing the word warm because I know it's in the book of Isaiah. It says something they use it to warm something. If I can find it. See if I can find this real quick. Yep. Bear 1 second. Okay. I'm gonna end it off with this scripture right here. Isaiah 44 verse 10. Let's start from 10. Let's start from verse 8. Isaiah 44:8. Fear ye not, neither be afraid. For have not I told thee that from that time, and have declared it? Ye are even my witnesses. Is there a God beside me? Yea, there is no God, and no, not any. That's in Deuteronomy. They that made a graven image, they that make a graven image are all of them vanity, and their delectable things shall not profit, and they are their own witnesses. They see not nor know, that they may be ashamed. Look at that word delectable. Chamad. Okay? Chamad. That's the word there for delectable. So it says they're delectable things. That means to desire, covet, take pleasure in, delight in. To desire, to be desirable. To delight greatly, desirableness, preciousness. So it means to covet or to desire. So they're delectable things. Meaning what? They're desirous things. That's what that's talking about. Let the page load up. Go back. Okay. So it says, they that make a graven image are all of them vanity. and the delectable things shall not profit. Right, the desirable things shall not profit. Okay, it's not gonna come. It's gonna come to naught. He's not gonna receive any gain from that. And they are their own witnesses. They see not nor know that they may be ashamed. So they don't even know that they're making these gods, and they're gonna be ashamed by these gods that they're making. Verse 10: Who have formed the god or molten a graven image that is profitable for nothing? Behold, all his fellows shall be ashamed, and the workmen they are of men. Let them all be gathered together, let them stand up, yet they shall fear, and they shall be ashamed together. The smith with the tongs worketh in the coals, and fashion it with hammers. Right. So the smith with the tongs, they worketh in the coals. You know, the tongs. They have those things that they use where they grab the particular the hot. You know, when something is being heated in coals, right? And you take the tongs and you grab it. You take the metal tongs and you grab it because why? It's too hot for you to grab with your hands. So the smith with the tongs both worketh in the coals. So they take the tongs and they take the hammer and fashion it with hammers. So they take the tongs, holding the object, and they smash it with a hammer, and worketh it with the strength of his arms. Yea, he is hungry, and his strength faileth. He drinketh no water in his face, so he's in his faint. So he's taking his hammer, and he's smashing these items. He grabs the item with the tongue, then he takes the hammer and he smashes the items with it. And throughout him doing that, he grows hungry, right? He grows hungry, he grows thirsty. And what happens when he grows hungry and thirsty? And he's faint? The carpenter stretches out his rule, he marketh it out with the line. He fitteth it with plates. So he stretches out a ruler, you know, or an object of measuring. He filled it he marketh it out with a line, you know, to measure how he gonna make this idol. He fitteth it with planes, and he marketh it out with the compass, and maketh it after the figure of a man, according to the beauty of a man, that it may remain in his house. He heweth him down cedars, trees, and taketh the cypress and the oak, which he strengtheneth for himself among the trees of the forest. He planteth an ash, and the rain doeth nourish it. Then it shall be for a man to burn, for he will take thereof and warm himself. So he take some of it and he uses it to warm himself. Yea, he kindleth it and baketh bread. And he takes the rest of it and he baketh bread. So part of it, so he'll down cedars, right? He'll some of it will be for a man to burn, right? To warm himself. He kindleth it and baketh bread. Yea, he maketh a god and worshipeth it. He maketh it a graven image and falleth down there too. So you're taking pieces of wood from trees, using pieces of it to warm yourself, using pieces of it to bake bread, and using pieces of it to make a god, to worship, to fall down to. That's meaning to bow down and worship. He burneth part thereof in the fire, with part thereof he eateth flesh. He roasteth roast, and is satisfied. Yea, he warmeth himself, and saith, Aha, I am warm, I have seen the fire. And the residue therewith he maketh a god, even his graven image. He falleth down unto it, and worshipeth it, and prayeth unto it, and saith, Deliver me, for thou art my God. They have not known nor understood, for he hath shut their eyes, that they cannot see, and their hearts they cannot understand. So their minds have been shut, and their eyes have been shut, their hearts have been shut. Okay? So they can't see the truth, because what can't they see? And none considereth in his heart, because it's been shut. They cannot understand, right? Neither is there knowledge nor understanding to say, I have burned part of it in the fire, yet also I have baked bread upon the coals thereof. I have roasted flesh and eaten it, and shall I make the residue thereof an abomination? Shall I fall down to the stock of a tree? So how are you going to take a stock of a tree and use it to make a god, use it to warm yourself, use it to make food, and you're going to use the rest of it to make a god to bow down and worship? That shows you that that's not even a god. If you're going to use part of it to make a god, then part of it to warm yourself and to make food. He feedeth on ashes, and deceived the heart hath turned him aside, that he cannot deliver his soul, nor say, Is not a lie in my right hand? So his heart has deceived him. He's saying that, and he can't even see that there is a lie in his right hand. He can't even see that he's created a lie. You know, for you to sit there and make an idol out of wood and bow down unto it, and the same idol that you made out of that wood you use to warm yourself and involved in the roast food. So the Most High blinded the hearts of our people and the hearts of the other people in this world who worship graven images. So with that, I'm gonna close. I'm gonna say, oh, and that goes into people worshiping, Cesar Borgia, Santeria, Brujeria, Voodoo, and so on and so forth. All these different gods, all these false idols. So with that, I'm gonna close. I'm gonna say, all praise the Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Double honor to the Apostle GMS. Shalom.